Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 1 of the Keeg Talks. Today, the Keeg Talks coming in 2024. Keep your mind out of the gutter. We're talking about all the movies, TV shows, video games, all that stuff that are coming out in 2024. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and if you are watching us live, you're watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show. And if you're listening to us on our podcast, it's wherever you get your podcasts from. We're pretty much everywhere. This is season 10 of the Keeg, and yeah, we're starting it off talking about everything that's going to be coming out in 2024, all the stuff that we're looking forward to. And it's not a one-man show. It's not just me, because it would be pretty boring. So I brought two awesome people who have been guests on the show, people that I call my friends. We got Justin Jordan, aka Freddie's roommate. Justin, welcome back.
Hello. Hi, my name is Justin, and I'm the person with the worst facial hair on this podcast.
If people are listening to the podcast, they can't see it, so they're going to take your word for it. But if they are watching us live, then I mean, they might disagree with you. I don't know.
We'll see. Check back in a month. And then...
You are growing out your mustache. Is that
you
a
got to give it time
thing?
I was thinking about it, and I just I've never grown out facial hair before. So this is like the longest my facial hair has ever been, so I'm just testing. What if I'm a new man? I could be a whole new like demographic of people could be interested in me with a mustache.
Is it like you grow the mustache and then you can see through the magical veil of reality where there's mustached people and not mustached people?
Exactly. Maybe I could be like Mario and Luigi. I could play like a detective, hard-boiled detective with a mustache, something like that.
Yeah.
Danny Glover, someone like that.
Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow. Oh no. I'm not one of, you know what? Carl Winslow's a good cop.
I love Carl Winslow.
In Die Hard, he was one of the most important characters.
Yes.
One of my goals in life, I want to meet Reginald VelJohnson. He was such an important part of me growing up. He was my TV dad.
That's true.
And like, I loved Family Matters. Like every episode, I was acting out Urkel, like to the point where my parents hated me,
Oh no.
And like Reginald VelJohnson was such a big part. And like, I would love to meet him. And my worry is I won't be able to meet him. So
that's such a good point, because everyone always talks about James Avery because of that J. Cole song, but Reginald VelJohnson was the OG. He was there before him.
Yeah, and I mean it's true. Like there's more dramatic moments in Fresh Prince than there is.
There's some dramatic moments in Family Matters when Eddie gets pulled over by the cops. They get real.
Yeah, but like I get that, and I don't know. Anyway, Reginald VelJohnson, but Justin, I'm looking forward to that mustache growing in full and luscious,
People think that I should do 15th Doctor, because I got the shirt recently.
Okay.
Oh my god, that'd be awesome.
So we'll see how it looks.
I'm seeing Will Smith in Men in Black. Like, I want to see you suited up.
Ooh, okay. It's not a bad costume. Let me write that down.
You gotta do that. Have you and the missus done a Men in Black?
We did for Halloween. I think I posted it, but it was during the strikes, so it was like a very like, if you know, you know.
Yeah. If anyone asks, you guys own a mortuary,
Exactly, a nondescript mortuary that's not based on any intellectual property.
Yeah. The title of the mortuary: People Wearing Dark Colors.
Exactly.
Wonder what that means. If you heard his voice, but you're not watching the show, you don't know who that other disembodied voice is. We got Neebz himself. Watch with Neebz. What's up, Neebz?
Welcome, man. Thanks for letting me join, man. I'm excited to be back on here, man. I love being on the Keeg Show, and it was awesome to meet you guys this year. We actually met in San Diego Comic Con, so we're real life friends now.
Yeah, we did actually meet. That is very interesting, because I remember Neebz is taller than I thought he would be.
Hey,
because he was a little bit taller than me, and you were Ted Lasso, right?
Yes, I was Ted Lasso.
And you had the mustache.
I did have the mustache. You're right. I had a thick ass Ted Lasso mustache when you saw me. You're right.
Wait, are you going to San Diego again? Will we see you again?
Yes, I am. I got my tickets all 4 days, including preview night.
Nice.
Same
I think
here.
we need to have a house party. That's my vote.
Yeah. We should. We'll work on something. I definitely want to do that. Neebz was taller in person. Justin, was I shorter in person?
No, I think you were the exact height I thought you'd
Oh
be.
no. Okay. All right. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's fair. That's fair.
It's great.
All right. That's cool. But you know, I was younger in person, right? You know.
Uh-huh, sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. I think I'm the youngest person on this podcast, actually.
I think
Probably.
so too. Are you guys having a good year so far? It's 2024.
It's been like a week, but yeah, I
It's
guess so.
How's this first week? I saw somebody post an Instagram story being like, okay, we're going to redo 2024. It is not working out. We're going to do 2024 on like spring solstice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I guess. Okay.
You get a trial. You get a 2-week trial, and then it starts for real.
It's like, can I unsubscribe?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
I'm doing okay. You guys doing okay?
I'm living
okay.
life. Got a lot of big plans this year.
Yeah,
I'm
same
keeping
here.
it way more chill than I did last year.
Same. I got some big plans, some cool trips planned, so I'm excited.
Neebz, you got any big plans you could talk about here?
Well, I could talk about I'm going to South Africa, which is going to be really exciting, and then
Okay.
I may be going to Saudi Arabia for the first time, so that might be cool.
Uh-huh.
And I'm also, I can't really talk about it, but I'm filming a reality TV show that'll be on Hulu in 2024, so keep an eye out for it.
That's wild.
Yes.
Is
That
it a
is-
love show?
It is a love show. It is. It's a dating show.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh,
But
oh
it's
my
not
gosh.
really dating, but it is the type of, let's just say, dating is involved. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, Neeb's gonna find love. Oh my god.
Yes.
Wait, is Neeb's the Bachelor? Wait, what? Oh my gosh.
I am not the Bachelor. I can confirm. I am way too brown to be the Bachelor. They would never let a brown man be the Bachelor.
First time for everything.
True.
I mean, what's the common sentiment that producers say? They're like, look, we would love this, but middle America just can't handle it.
It's pretty much it. That and height. Height is a big requirement. I think you got to be like over 6'1" or 6'2" to be the Bachelor.
Is that
Like,
because of dating? Like the idea
Dating.
of dating? Like that,
Yeah.
that.
No, because what they do is they feel out like what kind of man women like, and height is usually one of the requirements. So they naturally usually cast men of a certain height.
So I have a hot take, or a theory, so to speak, before we get onto the topic of like what's to come out this year. And this is something I've been mulling around. And I think that Tom Cruise was big back in the day. And I mean, he's still big now, but he was like a heartthrob, right? And he never was confident about his own height, right? And he always, shrugged it off. He never said how tall he was. Then he started standing on boxes. Then he started like literally filming around the fact that he is a short, if whoever can say short king, if you want to call Tom Cruise a king. I mean, he's a king of something. But the point being is that I think that public sentiment would have changed towards short kings if he had owned up to his height. He would have been like, I am a heartthrob, and I'm, let's just say, 5'7". I think that would have put 5'7" kings on the map.
I mean, Tom Holland is like 5'7" or 5'8", and he is a great Spider-Man, and he's got Zendaya.
Yeah, but he's considered like the exception, and even then, he's not like a heartthrob in the same way Tom Cruise was back in the day.
Sure.
And I think Tom Cruise would have put the bar down to at least his height. People would have been like, yeah, people can be good looking and Tom Cruise and up.
Leonardo DiCaprio also, sure, he wears heels and issues or something, because he claims to be 5'10", but he's not even. I think he's like 5'7".
I mean, yeah.
Typical.
Because I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, James McAvoy
he was
is
already
5'7".
a certain. Yeah, he was already a certain height during Titanic. He didn't grow after that.
Yeah.
Was he expecting more growth after Titanic?
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying. Don't be overlooking 5'7" short kings. Or 5'7" short Keegs.
It's very interesting to me to find when brown women ask for these tall guys, because I'm like, your dad was short. Like half of us are short. We're like,
your dad was short.
I was like, are you trying to breed us out of existence? Like, if it's like eugenics for like brown people, like they're trying to get rid of us. In a few decades, we'll all be like brown basketball players because then none of them wanted to breed with us.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Me personally, I'm looking for that 6 foot and up woman, so that I could start putting my kids into pro ball. So
that's solid.
I only got as far as NJB. So,
Ooh.
Yeah, I didn't. We'll see about pro ball for my kids. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on this show. That's it. That's all the time we have for today.
See you later, Gator. Bye.
All right. So, there's a lot of stuff that's coming out this year. Some things got moved back for many different reasons. Even if it wasn't for the writer's strike, there's certain movies that are like always getting moved back. But there are movies that are slated to come out, and I sent you guys a little list of just all the things I could muster, whatever, for movies and TV, and I'm sure there are even more. But what are the big things that stand out to you guys that you are looking forward to coming out this year?
Neebz, do you want to go first?
Sure. I think Inside Out 2 is something I'm excited for. I really liked the first Inside Out. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Deadpool. I think Deadpool is something. I mean, Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, of course, is a big one.
All the twists and turns and the Easter eggs that they're gonna have in that movie is gonna be wild.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm gonna like it all. I don't know how ham-fisted it's gonna be.
My problem is I feel like most of that movie is being leaked on the internet as we speak. Like every time I go on Twitter, I see more cameos just being ruined for no reason on that show.
If I was Ryan Reynolds, which I'm sure he's gonna do, I would just invite a bunch of friends to set, and do leaked things of random things that will not happen.
That would make a lot of sense. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, who knows what's real and what's not?
Who else could he bring
Do you guys think that Taylor Swift is going to be Dazzler in Deadpool 3?
She's already Dazzler.
She's not already Dazzler.
Well,
in Dark
ladies
Phoenix,
and gentlemen,
they had a Dazzler in Dark Phoenix.
No, let's put on my nerd hat real quick. Okay. Because in X-Men, I believe it's the one after Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse. In the deleted scene where all the kids go to the mall, Cyclops picks up a record. Okay. And the person on that record is Dazzler, who is modeled after Taylor Swift.
I don't remember I don't remember. I remember that.
It's the deleted scene.
That's the one where he looks at he looks at Boy George. Is it Boy George?
No, it's Dazzler.
No. But doesn't he look at Boy George and then turn to? I could be making this up. He turns to what's her name, Jean Grey, and like points out that they look alike.
No,
isn't there a Boy George cameo?
Roll the clip.
I can't. We're not that type of podcast.
Comparing your girlfriend to Boy George is not a flex. Like, why would you say that to your girl?
I'm trying.
Hey, we all gotta start somewhere.
Maybe I made it up in my head. No. There is yeah, Sophie Turner. There was an improvised bit about Boy George and Sophie Turner.
Yeah.
But
long story short, they should have kept that scene in because so technically I think Taylor Swift is already Dazzler, and I think she'd be a bad Dazzler, to be honest with you, because number one, Taylor Swift can't act.
That's true.
She's good at a lot of things, singing, concerts, all that stuff. Man, she can't act. She really can't act.
I don't I've only seen her in that one scene in New Girl where she just stands up and ruins the wedding. That's the only thing, and that's not even acting. That's the only thing.
That was her best acting performance. I also saw her in Valentine's Day. when she was with Taylor Lautner.
Oh, the worst.
That was her big acting debut, and it was really wooden. But I would say, like, maybe she's done better now. The Bad Blood music video, one of my favorite music videos.
I feel like a music video and acting are two different things.
I know.
Like, I don't. They're not.
Point is people are saying that Taylor Swift is gonna be Dazzler in Deadpool 3, and I don't know whether that's a want or a not want. You know.
Like, I don't know. To me, this is so off topic. I'm so sorry. But to me, Dazzler is not the most popular pop star at the time. It's not that. It's
okay.
It's like the equivalent would be someone who is very, very popular in like
Lady Gaga.
Like, in the gay community.
It's Lady Gaga.
If that makes any sense. Or it's like not Lady Gaga.
No?
I would say like Carly Rae Jepsen would be like my equivalent. Like Carly Rae Jepsen is big, but she's not number one, but also very popular among a very like a subset group of people.
You don't think that Dazzler and Lady Gaga are more of a fit?
No. Okay. Dazzler would, in my opinion, this is just my like interpretation and headcanon shit.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt, but like, you know, that's what I think.
All right.
You know. Neebz, who would be your Dazzler?
Damn, my Dazzler? Shoot. I don't know, man. I don't know. Lady Gaga was probably a good one, but I don't know. I can't think of anything. Who do I would probably like Halsey. I don't know.
I love Halsey.
That's not bad. That's not bad either. Good one.
Yeah. So Deadpool 3, there's gonna be some twists and turns and some Easter eggs and whatnot. I have my hopes of what's gonna happen, but I don't know if Marvel's gonna be doing that. But Justin, what are you looking forward to?
What am I looking forward to? I can't wait to see Mean Girls later this week.
Are you looking forward to it?
I am, and I'm not at the same time.
Have you seen the stage play?
I have not.
Or the musical, should I say, on stage?
I have not seen the musical. I'm going in with fresh set of eyes, but I love the original movie. I think it's like a staple of millennial culture.
Yeah.
And I'm also worried because it seems like they're updating some things, but not updating other things, which I find very interesting. Like one of the more, I guess, interesting parts about Regina George, in my opinion, was that like it was a very classic Mean Girl and a very like, I don't know, down to the way she dressed, what she acted. Like it was a very like, this person is like adhering to the current rules of femininity and like weaponizing against other women. And this is just from the trailer. So again, take this with a grain of salt. It seems like Renee Rapp is doing what today's version of a Mean Girl is, which is also very interesting, but everyone else is dressed like it's the early 2000s.
Yeah, is it a period piece?
Does that make sense?
Is it supposed to take place
now
or back then?
The musical is a period at this point, a period piece. So it's like, what's the angle here? It's very hard based on the trailer to see like what they're keeping and not keeping or what they wanted to update, you know? So
yeah. It's very interesting because like this idea of like what a bully looks like now compared to like the 80s is shifted. And we saw that even in Spider-Man Homecoming where Flash Thompson wasn't this like big buff guy and it was just this little kid who's just rich. But I did notice like they did change up some things. They did some race bending and stuff, and a lot of racism always comes out. I saw one comment where someone was like, imagine being bullied by an Indian girl. I was like, first of all, Indian girls are mean as fuck. Okay. They're rich, they're smart. They can definitely, it's not the 90s anymore.
It's so weird to think that bullying is only specific to one type of person.
Yeah.
When nerds bully also.
Exactly. There's bullies in every freaking niche.
Every niche, every clique has bullies. Bullying is like a defense mechanism for anyone.
Not black people though. Not me. Never seen it. See, you guys can throw other people under the bus. Not me.
I mean, I remember. Maybe this isn't like overt bullying. I just remember growing up and being in high school, and I went to a predominantly white and Asian high school, but the Asian is both South Asian and East and Southeast Asian. But the point being is that like the Indian girls would get together and be like, "Ugh, there are no they're what they say. They're like, there are no hot Indian guys, is what they would constantly say. And in general, not even at the school, but like they would just.
Oh, just in general?
I think
I was
they would
thinking
say
like actors,
general.
like I don't think I'm not sure if Kumail is specifically Indian. I'm not sure.
He's Pakistani, so he's from the subcontinent.
They were also brushing with a broad brush here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting swept up into it, you know? They're not saying...
Just to your face, too.
You know, it's... They're, you know, brushing with a broad brush. We're all getting splattered, you know? Anyway, the point being is, there are bullies in all sorts. And then I went home and I cried to myself.
Oh, wow, this took a turn. Anyway, I'm also excited for, I know we're going to talk about like the Deadpools and the Dunes later. I'm sure we will.
The Deadpools
but
and the
I
Dunes.
do want to, yeah, I do want to shout out like some smaller movies that I really want to see. So have you guys seen the trailer for Lisa Frankenstein?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Let's shout out
Diablo Cody is back in her bag.
Is that Diablo Cody?
Yes. It's
when was the
last
time she did something? I don't remember.
She got like canceled, not canceled, but like I think the world had to catch up to movies like Jennifer's Body, you know,
yes.
Like it kind of had like a resurgence and everything. And we welcomed Diablo Cody back with open arms. But if you remember when Juno and Jennifer's Body came out, the culture was not kind to women like her, unfortunately.
No.
But I'm excited to see the trailer
for bigger things and then got dropped. Weren't there like big Diablo Cody stuff that was supposed to come out and then
there was
didn't?
a couple things like, you know, I'm sure it's a Google search away. But anyway, I'm excited to see Lisa Frankenstein. It's camp. It looks camp. I really like it.
It's really fun.
Oh, the American Society for Magical Negroes. Because if you follow me on TikTok,
that's one where I've seen talk about, and I usually just stay out of that conversation. I see a lot of things going back and forth on that on Twitter, and I'm just like, nope, not touching this one.
Tell us what you think, Justin.
I think here's the thing. I want to clear the record on this podcast. Here's the thing. The studio is not paying me. I don't know anybody who works on the movie. I don't know the director. I don't know the actors. I don't know anybody, you know? I just literally watched the trailer. So I'm excited for not only seeing the movie, but for everyone to come back to me and say, Justin, you were right about the magical Negro trope. That's crazy.
Because you've been doing a lot of TikToks about the trope itself.
Yes.
Yeah, even before the movie was like, I even heard about the movie. I learned about it from you.
Yeah, and I think I have no idea if this movie will be good. I really don't know. It could be a dud, but let's just take it. Let's take the movie that we got instead of thinking that we got some kind of like black magical Harry Potter that this movie never promised at any point. You know,
maybe that's another movie that needs to happen. You know, like
do we want a black Harry Potter?
I would love to in some way, shape, or form explore the magic of other cultures.
Fair.
You know what I mean? I'm tired of swords and sorcery as pertains to Arthurian legend. I don't need European swords and sorcery fantasy anymore. I don't need it. And people say that, like, Dimithri, how do you not like Lord of the Rings? I'm not saying I don't like Lord of the Rings. I'm just saying Lord of the Rings is the granddaddy that you realize that, like, modern your family wouldn't exist without your granddad. But I'm tired. Like, let granddad rest. You know what I mean? I don't need the swords and sorcery Lord of the Rings. I like contemporary magic, cool, and I want to see magic explored from other cultures, which, like, I'm a big fan of Greek mythology, and Greek mythology has always been kind of separate than Merlin and those type of magic stuff, though it seeps in. Point being is, let's keep going east. Let's keep going south. Let's go to the new world. You know what I mean? So yeah, I want to explore that. I don't need J.K. Rowling to tell me how she thinks, let's just say, South Asian magic is supposed to be. Like, I don't need her opinion on that. I don't need her magical ideas on the Patel twins. But, like, it would be nice. But sorry, Justin, didn't mean to derail. The movie you're saying that you don't know if the movie's gonna be good or not.
I don't know, but I hope it is.
Yeah.
I hope it just does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
But the last movie that I want to mention is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
I really like Afterlife, so I'm
Yes. Oh my
I
gosh.
liked Afterlife also, yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know if for people that have been following me for almost a decade, this before I was even like on TikTok, have known that I have said Kumail Nanjiani should be in Ghostbusters. If they ever do a remake, if they ever do a fucking reboot, he should be in that fucking movie. And sure enough, when I saw the trailer, I was like, he's perfect. I think he's like not that he would replace Bill Murray in any lifetime, but I think he has the charisma, especially now that he's buff now. He's better looking than Bill Murray. I think he has the comedic chops, and like him with Paul Rudd, and
That's
I
a good
think the
combo.
guy,
We need sexy Ghostbusters.
Patton
That's really
Oswalt,
what it is, right?
Patton Oswalt, Kumail, yeah, like all three of them.
Yeah.
And what's her name? The mom in what's her name?
In
The mom
Ghostbusters? I don't
in
know who
Afterlife.
she is.
And Carrie
Actress-wise.
Coons, I think her name is Carrie
Okay.
Coons. Those four, that's a damn good set of new Ghostbusters. Like,
Yeah.
really
Is he playing a Ghostbuster? I thought the Ghostbusters were the kids.
Here's like in the trailer, Paul Rudd is wearing a suit.
Is Kumail?
The daughter's wearing a suit. Podcast is wearing a suit. The mom is wearing a suit. Kumail's not wearing a suit, but he better.
Maybe
'cause I think-
Ghostbusters are.
That's my new cosplay if that happens.
Maybe
Shit.
Ghostbusters is like the friends we made along the way.
I think the mistake that unfortunately Ghostbusters Answer the Call made was that I think Ghostbusters needs to be a franchise where it needs to be the not hip, but like the best comedians of today. And I don't think Melissa McCarthy is the best comedian today,
Wait, but are we talking comedians or comedic actors? Because
both.
We don't need 4 stand-up comedians. Matt Rife being the next Ghostbuster.
That's too young. You can't be too young with it. It's like a certain age,
There's a seasoned. You have to be a seasoned professional. But
yes, a seasoned professional.
I mean, wasn't Eddie Murphy supposed to be?
He was, but that ship has sailed long ago,
There is Beverly Hills Cop Axel F coming out this year. Just wanted
that used to be one of my favorite movies. Like people in Pakistan know about this movie. That's how popular Beverly Hills Cop is.
Is it titled the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
I literally just watched Beverly Hills Cop yesterday. Literally yesterday. Yeah, the very first one.
Does Beverly Hills Cop have a white female protagonist? Or a love interest that isn't a love interest?
They never fall in love. They never smooch.
Because they weren't allowed to back then.
Like, when did it come out? When did Beverly Hills Cop come out? Oh my gosh.
The 80s, right?
They weren't allowed to?
Well, okay, so I don't know if you guys... I don't know, whatever. I've been paying attention to it like a long time. There used to be a thing in Hollywood where you can't have interracial relationships unless that is literally the plot of the movie. That is a literal thing. And this is up until like 2010s. So Cameron Diaz was supposed to be Will Smith's love interest in Hitch. And they wouldn't allow her. Because they did not want Will Smith with Cameron Diaz. So the person who bridged those gaps between white men and black men was Eva Mendes. So pretty much
Eva Mendes is better in the role than Cameron Diaz. Now that I think about it.
What's that?
I actually think Eva Mendes is better for that part.
I agree too. Yeah. But the point being is that like when Denzel and Julia Roberts did, is it Pelican Brief? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Their characters have sex in the book. No romantic whatsoever in the movie. Like there are on purpose. It's basically, unless it's Guess Who's Coming to Dinner,
right?
They didn't allow that back then.
It was very
back then 2010s.
No, it was very recent because when Glenn hooks up with Maggie on The Walking Dead, that was the first time that's ever happened on TV. And that was just a few years ago. That's
That
crazy.
pairing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like so yes, what am I getting at? Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop, right? Will Smith in Men in Black. They hint at it. There's
Men in Black, another franchise.
Will
that had
Smith
so much
in
potential.
Bad Boys with Tia Leone.
I
Wait,
forgot that
they didn't hook up in Bad
They don't
Boys?
hook up.
No, doesn't the girl betray them in
No.
Bad Boys?
No. So Will Smith is kind of seeing Tia Leone's friend in Bad Boys. Like that's the premise.
Friend.
The premise is that her friend dies and she's on the run from the killers. But Tia Leone is looking bad in a good way, and she doesn't hook up with either one of the Bad Boys. That's just,
you know what's funny though? As soon as I saw Beverly Hills Cop, I tweeted, I was like, why haven't they crossed over with Bad Boys?
I mean,
it seems like an idea that writes itself. And like,
they're in Miami though, right? Bad Boys are in Miami.
I mean, I think it's a hop, skipping away.
Yeah.
It's not that, it wasn't that hard to get Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills because the character's from Detroit.
Yeah.
But when Bad Boys for Life was filming, they did a TikTok video or like an Instagram video of them hanging out with Eddie Murphy at the Tyler Perry studio. So it's like, why have they not crossed over? It's literally one of the easiest ideas.
Makes sense.
Bad Boys Forever.
By the way,
you add another Bad Boy
is coming out this year too.
Yeah, Bad Boys 4.
Bad Boys 4.
Bad
By the
Boys
way,
1,
Bad Boys 4 should have been Bad Boys for Life.
Well, sucks to suck. They only thought they had one of these. So keep with the 4 thing. Just call it Forever. Bad Boys Forever.
Yeah. Carson,
you don't like that idea.
By the way, shout out to Carson. Carson's always in our chat. Want to shout out Carson. Carson says we need a Ghostbusters movie with Kevin James in it. Would you want Kevin James as a Ghostbuster?
No, that's a Melissa McCarthy pick. No.
Okay.
No.
Like Mall Cop Ghostbusters.
I think
I'm not feeling it.
Like he plays absurd, and like I don't think Ghostbusters runs on like absurd. I guess in a concept it runs on, but like it doesn't run on like pratfalls, right?
No, you got to be like it's very sarcastic humor in Ghostbusters.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know. We'll talk about it later, but if you guys ever want to do a Ghostbusters cosplay for San Diego,
bro, I got the suit in my closet.
Do you have your name? Do you have your name?
Yes, I have my
name. I want to get mine with Perera on it. Like I'm not.
No, I can send you the link, and I can send you like because I just got the exact flight suit that they used for the movie.
Okay.
Got the patch, put my name on it. It's the easiest Halloween costume ever owned. I've had it for like 4 years now, and I break out at least once a year. It's great.
Neebz, I don't know if you want to.
I'm down, but I'm gonna wait to see if Camille Nanjiani is going to be in a costume, and I'll get that exact costume.
or you could be Slimer.
No,
I'm joking.
No.
Like, can you imagine having someone in the group and you're like, yeah, you're not a Ghostbuster. You're going to be Slimer for this cosplay.
That's what the ladies call me in high school.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Oh no. Oh no.
And in high school too. So there's a lot of movies that are coming out next year, and I mean we're just talking about movies, but like I mean there's also a lot of TV shows. I just think there's a couple of movies that have the subtitle with Empire in it, right? So like Ghostbusters has Frozen Empire. We also got Godzilla X Kong, the Fallen Empire, the New Empire. Yeah, the New Empire. Are you guys a fan of the legendary MonsterVerse stuff?
Yeah, like they're fun to watch in a movie theater. Like not a lot of movies are fun to watch in a movie theater, but a monster movie definitely is because you get the surround sound, you get the monsters, and it's like you get the feel. The audio is really, really good. I just watched Godzilla -1, and like that was an amazing movie. But like these movies and that movie are like completely different ends of the monster spectrum, right? One's like turn your brain off and like watch these monsters. The other is like a human experience story, right?
Yeah.
So I'm here for all of it. I like the different styles. I think they're both serve their purpose.
I agree. There's Godzilla movies that are meant to teach lessons, and then there's Godzilla movies that are, you know, bash 'em up kind of fight movies. Because people forget that there are a lot of Japanese Godzilla movies that are just like brawls. You know?
See, I get it. I mean, because I like the first Godzilla. Very good. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Kong Skull Island, exceptional.
Kong Skull Island is the best out of this new wave.
Like, holy shit, really good.
Yeah.
Godzilla King of Monsters. Okay, all right. Millie Bobby Brown is popular, I guess. You know, I'm like, all right. It kind of lost the plot for me on that one. And then Godzilla versus Kong. I'm mad because Kong never got a shot. It feels like Kong was the jobber in that movie. He was getting his ass beat every single time. He only had like the upper hand like at one point in the movie, but Godzilla was like wrecking him. I felt bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a way you could have written it that Kong does come out like on top. You know what I mean? Like Kong has to get close to Godzilla to beat him, right? Stay out of his way of the beam, right? And then Godzilla has like small arms. I guess not anymore now that he's just like full.
Well, Kong has like opposable thumbs, man. He can use tools, man.
Yeah.
And weapons.
So Kong could have come around, done something, but
off the top rope or something.
But it happened with the building.
But they decided to throw in Mecha Godzilla into it.
They had to team up.
Not only Mecha Godzilla, but also that there's a world inside the Hollow Earth theory. You know,
that lost me. The Hollow Earth could have lost me.
The Hollow Earth part was so unnecessary.
I agree.
I don't get the point of it. Are you guys watching Monarch King of Monsters?
No, it lost me.
Wait, which part lost you?
I checked out when they were like, Kong, even though you lost, you could be the king in Hollow Earth. You could run around and be with all your friends.
Oh, that's the movie. But like, okay, the
Monarch,
show,
they're in the same universe.
Yeah. But like, the show is good. The show is good. We're doing another podcast episode, so I don't want to talk too much about it.
It's on Apple TV, right?
It's on Apple TV Plus, and a lot of it takes place in the past. So they're dealing with like starting up Monarch, and it has Wyatt Russell playing a young Kurt Russell. Like they're the same character, but one's the older version and his son plays the younger version.
U.S. agent.
You know? Yeah, U.S. agent. Oh. But Anna Sawai, actress Anna Sawai, she's been in a couple of things recently. She is really good. She's a New Zealand actress of Japanese descent. And she's going to be in the new Shogun show. I don't know if you guys know Shogun.
Yes,
we both know Shogun. You want to know why?
Why?
Because the last time we went to San Diego Comic-Con, we went to their booth and they had a VR interactive thing, right?
But we were too dark.
The sensors could not pick up our skin color.
No
and it
way.
was so funny because it wouldn't work for me. And it was like, oh, we'll try recalibrating it. Try again. It did not work. And Dimitri's like, I'll try it. It can't be that bad. It did not work for Dimitri.
They had to like
Justice, who is, I love the guy, but he's the light skin of the group. It should work for him. It did not work for Justice. And so they had to shut down the exhibit after we
to recalibrate it. And we were joking out loud though. We were like, it's not picking up our skin. That's what it is.
It didn't. That was what it was.
That's some racist ass AI they got for that machine.
I'm actually kind of happy because they wouldn't tell me what we would see in the pool underneath us, and I was afraid something's gonna jump out. So I was kind of happy it didn't work personally, so that I wouldn't get scared. But you know,
So it was so awkward. But yeah, I'm aware of the show Shogun.
okay.
Oh, I'm aware.
So Shogun was originally a book, like a big old thick book that like a lot of people liked back in like the 60s or whatever. And they made it like a TV miniseries in the 70s, which we watched like one episode in high school. And then now they're doing like a remake of it. But Anna Sawai is in it, and I just found out. And she's Han's daughter in the new Fast.
Oh,
movie.
That's right.
Yeah. Because Han, I guess, has a daughter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, where you been?
No, I mean, I've seen them, but I'm just saying. She's in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. So, you know. I don't know. You guys got TV shows that you guys are looking forward to?
Yeah, got some good TV shows.
Wait, are you guys more
Avatar?
Movie? Are you guys
Avatar:
more
The Last
movie or
Airbender.
TV show people?
I'm a little bit of both.
Okay.
Same,
Yeah.
I'm both.
But
Okay.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is probably my most anticipated series that's coming out.
Shout out to we had some people on the Instagram story that we're talking about. But shout out to Moira, who says Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. Will it be great or awful? We'll find out in February.
Mm-hmm.
So, will it be great or awful?
I feel like it'll be great because the cast is pretty decent, man. They got some big heavy hitters for some of these characters, man. So
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. It does make me worry that the original creators left the show. I was like, oh, that doesn't
What
feel
did they
good.
leave? Like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. It feels like they'll do a good job. Like all the trailers I've seen, everything I've read about seems all positive. But just the fact that they left the show makes me feel a certain way about it.
Yeah.
Same.
There
also,
might be
like,
some big change that they did that'll be noticeable. Like you'll be like, oh, that's why. I don't know. Justin?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel as though this might be a hot take, but I feel as though the best version of that story has already been told. I don't think it needed a live action, to be honest with you. And if it's gonna be a live action, might as well do a new story or a new Avatar. But that's just me.
I mean, I agree to an extent.
Or
Here's
like
a
a
question
story
for
that
both of you
we
guys.
haven't-
I
go
mean,
ahead.
do you guys like live action versions of animated things? Because the question
Not
is brought up:
usually.
what's the purpose of a live action version of a cartoon?
I feel like it does introduce people to a show that like they probably feel like they cannot catch up. Like One Piece is an example. Like people cannot imagine getting into One Piece, but if you watch the live action, it's actually very easy to digest, and they still capture the magic of the anime. So like that's an example of like where it does really well. I don't know if that's the exception or if that's the rule, but like they have done a good job in some places.
One Piece was I know almost nothing about One Piece, but I watched the Netflix show and I liked it enough to do a Zorro costume for Halloween, and but did I feel kind of like a poser, like a little bit in a way, knowing that like I haven't read the books and I haven't watched the anime, sure, but I watched the Netflix show and I was doing the Netflix Zorro, and that was it. I was like I liked the show.
It was very good. I loved it.
Yeah. But Avatar, like, I think people want to see the powers done, right? Like, people want to see the fights and the powers in live action.
They want to forget about the M. Night Shyamalan version.
We do need to scrub that. We do need to scrub that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it will be fine. I'm sure it will be better than the Avatar M. Night Shyamalan version.
Right.
I'm sure it has to be. But I'm not expecting the moon and stars.
Yeah. Though that being said, I do feel like Dev Patel should make an appearance and get like he was done bad in that, and he's a great actor, and I felt like that'll always haunt him to the point that when he does what you call it, like Comic Con or anything like that, and people ask him to sign anything from like the Fire Nation, he goes, "That was a pretty shit movie, wasn't it?" Like he'll say it himself, yeah, as he signs autographs for it.
Do you think that's the reason why Dev Patel doesn't do big franchise movies?
Maybe.
Probably. Because I can think of a couple franchises that he'd be great in. You know?
Are you a Reed Richards, Dev Patel guy?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can see it. I can really see it. That's really good, but I feel like it's getting into Idris Elba as James Bond territory. It's starting to, at least, you know.
I don't.
But they
Oh, sorry.
it's like we've been waiting on a Fantastic Four cast for years now. So
Yeah.
you know what? Add this to the list, Dimitri. Things I'm looking forward to. Casting the fucking Fantastic Four. Just do it.
At this point, I don't think it's gonna be Pedro. I think it's been
Oh,
way
I
too
don't
long
want it to
since
be
they
Pedro.
since
That's
they
bad
dropped
casting.
that it was gonna be Pedro. I don't think it's gonna be Pedro anymore.
Yeah.
Pedro. I love Pedro Pascal.
Yeah.
There
He's
are
oversaturated.
there's
He's
dozens of
too
other
much.
characters he could be, but Mr. Fantastic, that's the wrong move.
Yeah, especially if Vanessa Kirby is gonna be like Sue. It's like such a big age gap between the two. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't be upset if he was Sentry.
I mean, yeah, Steven Yeun dropped out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset if he turned into Sentry.
I mean, I don't think we need Sentry. That's the thing. Like, unless the purpose of Sentry is to have a team of no-powered people go up against a Superman. But, like, we already saw Marvel Superman with Hyperion, or not Hyperion, with Icarus in Eternals. Like, I don't know whether we need a Superman-related character. Sentry kind of sucks, to be honest.
I mean, what they want to do is they want to do a Suicide Squad kills the Justice League kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that's
not Thunderbolts either. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. My problem with Dev Patel as Reed Richards is he's not an asshole enough. And I love Rahul Kohli.
I love him too.
And me calling him an asshole is not like me hating on him. Like, he is such a lovable asshole, like in real life, that like I could see him playing Reed Richards.
Yeah. He's treated me a few times.
I think let him know.
I will let him know. He's actually done a Reed Richards cosplay.
Yeah.
Once, and he posted it.
Did I see that? I don't know. I've been
campaigning for the role. Interesting.
I've loved him since iZombie, but he's doing a really good job lately. Like, he has some stuff coming out this year.
Yeah, House of Ushers or something like that. I forget what. But back to Rahul Kohli. He actually went on his stories on Instagram, and he I forgot, Jeremy Allen White, I believe, came on and said, hey, I auditioned for like a Marvel type role, and I guess I played it wrong. They didn't like me. And Rahul Kohli kind of retweeted it and said, same, bro, same. So he auditioned for a Marvel type role, and the audition went badly.
Huh.
Well, is it Fantastic Four, though?
We don't know, but he did audition for a Marvel movie, and he said the audition did not go well.
That's kind of that sucks, because I feel like, number one, Jeremy Allen White wouldn't make a bad Human Torch.
Yeah.
It's either that or Eddie Brock for me, if we're talking about Jeremy Allen White for me.
Yeah.
But made a great
I auditioned to be the host of Blue's Clues a couple years back when they were restarting it. And if we're dropping this, I didn't get it. I did get callback to the final like 10, 15 people to Nickelodeon Studios, and did more auditioning and didn't get it. But
the chemistry read with Blue.
With Blue. Yeah.
Blew through the audition.
I was like, yeah, you're so fucking unprofessional. You know?
I'm sorry, Miss Blue. I'm sorry. Calm down.
We just got a letter, and this is you didn't get the part.
Yeah. Imagine a world that would have been, though. That's a timeline out there. I'm just saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah. This was before I even met you guys, so who knows? It would have been a dystopian future. Is really what it
dystopian. You could have been.
Everything's go to that timeline. Everything's falling apart.
Just because Dimitri was Steve. What the fuck?
It's like Mad Max Blue's Clues version.
Yeah. Carson out there says that he's excited for the second half of Invincible season 2.
Yeah, that looks good. I enjoyed the first half of it. I thought it was done really well. It's great animation, and the fighting is good, and the storyline is really great, and I'm really excited to see where they go. I haven't read the comics. I have the comics, and I'm reading them as I go along because I don't want to get too far ahead.
Read ahead.
Yeah.
Read ahead.
Read
You'll
ahead?
be able to go back.
I have a question. Go ahead, Neebz. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I have a question for Dimithri. Did Omni-Man come back this soon into the comic? Because it felt a little too soon to me, to be honest.
I think it's too soon. I think like there's a couple more adventures that happens before Omni-Man comes back, but I can't remember. I have to do another reread, but I've read every issue. But yeah, it also, regardless of what happens in the comics, it just seems too soon for this show for Omni-Man to come back.
Yeah, it felt like, I don't know, you just left, bro.
Yeah.
But I wish I cared about anything else in that show besides that plot line.
Really?
Because like I don't know, the Guardians of the Globe, I wish I cared. I wish I cared about Robot, you know.
just wait for what happens with Robot.
What's gonna happen?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Is he actually gonna be good and like be
Robot because like
character?
Robot's one of the best characters in the comics.
All right, maybe
there's some crazy shit that happens. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm saying read ahead, because you'll never be able to read all of Invincible if you're waiting for the show to do it, because it's such a slow pace. Read ahead and then you can come back.
But I like being surprised by the show. All right, I will. I'll see.
As someone who's read all the stuff, like by a certain point you're gonna forget certain things anyway, and they do certain things different. So
Gotcha.
You know, same with Walking Dead. Like I was reading the comics and I finished that, and then
but they deviate a lot in that.
They deviate a lot in Walking Dead. So also I can't go back to Walking Dead. I stayed longer than most people, but at a certain point I dropped off, and I was like, it doesn't hurt me to not pick it back up again. I'm okay.
Yeah.
What was the dropping point in the show?
There was one of the later seasons with the Whisperers, because I like the Whisperers in the comics. So the Whisperers, they skin the zombies and wear the zombies' skin and pretend, and essentially the zombies, as long as they don't move like humans would, the zombies think they're zombies. So they're like a race of nomads that walk with the zombies and then veer off to their camps. So they kind of follow the flow of zombie herds. But they also like, they'll be a zombie and then pull a fast move on you and like knife you. Like you'll go in thinking they're just a zombie and you just like knock them in the head and they'll just like, you know?
Well, interesting. Okay.
And they like talk to each other in certain ways, I think. But the point being is there's in that season, like some of the characters get stuck in a cave and there's like a pit of zombies. And then I'm like, okay. Yeah. I think it went on hiatus and then like I just dropped off. There's a new series coming out, Walking Dead, what's it called? Walking Dead.
Daryl Dixon?
There's a couple of shows coming out this year, right? Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. That comes out this year. I think that's a Rick Grimes focused story.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Not gonna jump back in?
No. I dropped when Carl died.
Oh wow, you dropped early.
Well, no, that's not that early,
right? I'm just like, I think I'm just 2 seasons behind, so not too bad. But I actually had some inspiration to one of the seasons. They actually changed some stuff around because of me.
What? Wait, what was it? What does that mean?
So I went to a Comic-Con once and I talked to Scott M. Gimple. And I talked to him about how, they finally added a Muslim character in The Walking Dead, which was Syed. And I was like, thanks. I thought we didn't make it, right? And I told him, like, it was how much representation means and stuff like that. And then literally he was he really liked my question. After the show, he came up to me. He talked to me a little bit. We had a conversation, and I have it on like video too of me and just him just having a conversation. And I asked him to like give the Muslim characters more screen time, and then he gave the one Muslim character a 7-story arc the next season, and they gave him a Muslim funeral, and he actually ended up like retweeting me when I like tweeted him about it. So, and he follows me on Twitter.
That's
so
cool.
Like I claim that I am the reason that he decided to focus on that one character. And I have all the receipts. Like I have the Twitter exchanges, I have me and him talking, I have me asking him the question. I got the whole thing on video.
The question is, why didn't they cast you?
I am not a. I am actually in my first feature film this year. Actually, it's a short film. So, someone I had on my podcast were like, "Hey, I would love for you to be in my film," and I was like, "Sure." So she did a short film here in New Jersey. She casted me, and she is going to finish producing it. She's going to shop it around to film festivals, and I may be in a award-winning short film. Who knows?
That's
what
cool.
the heck?
Yeah, it's a very small role. It's a very, very small role. I have like 2 scenes.
What's it called? Do we know?
Yeah, it's called it's called What is the Criteria? And it's about like it's about a brown girl who finds these magical glasses, and what they do is she can detect F-boys by putting on these glasses. So a guy will tell her something, and then she'll put on the glasses, and she'll find out what he's really saying or what he's really thinking.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a play off of like They Live, the old movie that like came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but like instead of zombies, you detect F-boys. And I played one of the F-boys. I am a 40-year-old doctor who operates while he is under the influence of alcohol and is a womanizer.
I don't know if that's a compliment. Like, you know what?
Yeah,
you would be great at playing an awful person.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
Oof, brutal, man.
Okay, so that's something coming in 2024, though. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
I got a reality show and a short film coming out. But like, yeah.
This is so not fair. What are you looking for most of this year? Neebz is like, oh, the TV show that I'm in, the short film I'm in. You know what? I want to tweet out, Neebz is Mr. Fantastic in an MCU confirmed. That's what he's looking forward to.
Why do you think I've been going to the gym every single day, killing myself?
What?
The Marvel routine.
Trying to get that Thor body.
I mean, I would love to get paid by Marvel to get to the gym and like have their dietitians and do all that stuff.
I'm not letting Camille Nanjiani being the only Pakistani who gets to do that, man. I'm trying to get there too.
I'm gonna be on a game show April 23rd. Person, place, or thing. And so that's what I got coming in 2024.
Wait, so did you already film and you're just gonna air? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we already filmed.
Nice.
And so that episode, Person, Place, or Thing on Fox. So it's like the Fox afternoon game show block. So Person, Place, or Thing is new. So April 23rd. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you a millionaire now? Did you win? Like,
yeah. I'm a millionaire now, and that's why I'm just doing the Keeg all the time. You know.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Do we got like big Marvel movies that are coming out? I'm trying to think of.
No, they're actually not doing any Marvel movies except for Deadpool next year. They push everything back.
Oh yeah, because of the strike. Yeah, because of the
strike, but also because like they just felt like they weren't focusing on quality stuff. So I mean, that's what they said. I don't know, but yeah.
DC's the same thing because DC doesn't have anything other than Joker, Foley Ado. Did you guys like the first Joker movie? I didn't even see it. I still have yet to see it.
I know people love it, but like in my opinion, it's probably one of the most overrated superhero movies. It's good, but it's overrated.
I heard it's just the King of Comedy or whatever that movie was called, and then with a Joker
Taxi Driver.
And Taxi Driver, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the worst DC ever. It's not the worst DC movie ever
That's
made.
not
That's a low
selling point.
bar. That's a low bar.
No, I think Joker is very well made. I think it fails to deliver the points that it wants to make.
Uh-huh.
At times it feels a little preachy. But the problem is, like, I don't know. I think it's a fascinating experiment. I do. And I think it's more fascinating when you make Joker 2, when you make Joker the protagonist or the hero. You have to put Joker in like primary colors like red, yellows, and blues, which is very fascinating. But when you want a antagonist or a villain, you turn Harley into like a more dangerous, or like, I don't know, a more Joker-fied Harley. I think that's very interesting. But
And is it going to be a musical?
Yeah, that's what they
yeah,
say.
but like, not to be the guy that's like, "Where's Batman?" But like, I don't know. I I didn't watch Gotham for a reason.
Yeah. Is Joker kind of like if you took The Last Samurai and you named Ken Watanabe's character Ra's al Ghul, and that's it?
No.
And you just have The Last Samurai, but with the main character being Ra's al Ghul, and that's it? Like, is that what Joker was?
No, I think, I don't know. I don't want to spoil Joker for you. Or I'm sure you already know the plots of it.
Yeah,
My
by now.
biggest issue with the Joker is I can't stand its fan base.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's also the problem with, like, who do you put as your main character when you do a movie or a TV show like The Punisher? What's the point of it, right? Are you saying that everybody should take up arms and solve their problems themselves, or is there some sort of greater thing? So does Joker fall prey to that in a way?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think, like, slight spoilers for Joker. Slight spoilers. But like, he goes through a series of mishaps where he like loses his job. He doesn't get his like medication. The therapist stops seeing him. Like his, and I think what really bugs me about, like, I don't know, have you heard of the male loneliness epidemic? That's going on right there.
I mean, I don't know the specifics other than, I mean, the general idea.
How like adult men or older adult men, when their like wives leave them or pass away, or they don't really have anyone to talk to, they don't have any community left,
Right.
because their wives planned everything. And like, I think it kind of plays into that, because like, I don't know, the whole movie Joker is like blaming society for the problems, and I get like, yeah, he he needs his medications like that, but it's like, society has failed me, so I'm going to murder people on live television. Like, what the fuck, I don't know, have you tried community organizing? Like, I don't know, it's just I don't know. It's very white male power fantasy.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I mean, yeah, and that's not to. Well, also the subject isn't like the topic of the episode, but just the like these problems persist. These male related problems exist and persist, but there are other ways to go about things and to talk about things, and maybe help solve some of the problems.
I still think they should have blended him and Robert Pattinson together.
I don't even know what the future of the Pattinson universe is going to be, because they're okay. So what we do have slated for this year, Carson pointed it out, is we have the Penguin HBO show, which I am very much looking forward to.
That's still happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, they have a teaser trailer that's like more behind the scenes footage, but it's not like a story trailer. But yeah,
HBO has been notorious of just cutting projects and canceling projects. So I was surprised to see that still going on.
I mean,
so we're getting a whole Penguin show, but we can't get Batgirl.
Batgirl?
We can't just throw it up on the server.
You know what sucks? You know what sucks the most is that after watching Aquaman 2 and The Flash is worse by a good amount.
Real bad.
The Flash is
bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
You're telling, and Black Adam. last year, right? Those 3 movies last year. You're telling me that all 3 were better than Batgirl, and Batgirl was one of those 4 to be cut? Come on.
Yeah.
Black Adam was bad.
Black Adam was
horrible. Like,
Black Adam was a waste of time. Flash was just a train wreck. Aquaman 2, I will never see it again. I'm not hating my time with it, but also I'm not recommending it to anyone. There's no one that needs to see it. There's no point.
Aquaman is like eating a sandwich with a bug in it.
I get that you're tying it in with the movie. I get it. I wouldn't say that. I would just say it's like stale bread. It's a sandwich with stale bread. But not like moldy bread. Just like, hey, you're hungry, you eat a sandwich. It's what's in your pantry. It's what's in your pantry. You know, it's like, I have yet to go grocery shopping. Let's just finish off what's left. That's kind of what it was. It was kind of like finishing off what's left in the pantry. You're gonna get a new, groceries.
Grocery. Yeah, I don't know. There was a few good moments. A few really good ideas.
In Aquaman 2?
Orm is now in the Mera role or the number 2 role.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was a very good idea. Yeah. I think he held up the movie. Orm, he was really good. I also think it's weird that Orm acts more like Aquaman to me than Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're having a Loki and Thor kind of thing where they were going for the Ragnarok thing, but they couldn't execute it as well.
If Loki was more responsible, right? Like, Orm seemed very responsible, and they almost like apologized for Orm in the first one, right? In a way.
Yeah, he got like a little redemption arc.
He was just like, I don't know. Aquaman 2 was wild.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think the box office sales would have done as bad for these DC movies if it wasn't for James Gunn announcing that the DCEU is dead?
I think you hit the nail. Like, this is exactly what I was thinking. Like, literally, James Gunn got on Twitter or whatever and said, these movies don't matter. They will not. And I think, like, it goes back to like things like Echo, where the one of the prime selling points of these superhero movies is their interconnectivity. You can't get up and say, you don't have to watch this one. This is like the whole point. The whole point is that if you don't watch Avengers, then you Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Ant-Man, you're not gonna understand and it like creates this big wave of content.
I think it's working against it, though. I think it's working against it. It's the One Piece thing. It's the One Piece thing sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Oh, go ahead.
You think that the general public needs to be forced to watch the movies in order to watch the movies?
No, I'm not saying forced. I'm saying you have a stream of, like, you start at point A. The whole point is that there are sequels upon sequels upon sequels. I agree,
right? I'm not saying with the interconnectivity, but something like Echo doesn't need to factor into Thanos or the multiverse in order to be a good show, like a good standalone show.
But it does need to matter. And Aquaman not having mattered, I was like, I can skip this one. We're never going to see Jason Momoa again.
I mean, I agree that we can skip it because it doesn't matter. I also think that it didn't matter to begin with. I don't think DC wanted to release it to begin with. It kept getting moved back. Flash also, to the point where, like, James Gunn coming in, it was only a matter of time till they were like, yeah, we're really starting over from scratch here. There is no way.
Yeah, I truly believe, like, you need to start from scratch, but also I can't believe I'm defending David Zaslav, which I really don't want to do. But if I'm looking at the number sheet, you spent how many millions on Black Adam, Flash, and Aquaman? Fuck. Okay, Zaslav is now discovering, just like, all of Disney and Netflix. Wait a minute. If I put something on streaming, the only way we make money is if people sign up for the streaming service.
Yeah, if
people, no box office release, there's no, like, oh shit, we have to put this out. And then I disagree that Batgirl should have been on the cutting floor.
Yeah.
You know, but if I'm David Zaslav and it's like this one was made for HBO anyway. Do we have to release in theaters?
Release
Wait, we
Batgirl in
spend
theaters.
more money to advertise it? You haven't been advertising it? Cut it.
Release Flash on streaming. Release Batgirl in movies.
I think,
or release Batgirl in on streaming. Release Batgirl on streaming and Flash in the movie. I don't care. You just release Batgirl. If you're anyway saying you're not going to make money, he's just trying to cut it and save, like, write it off as a loss, right?
Yes, I do agree. We should have seen Batgirl. But I think if this last year has proven anything between, like, the Marvels, all the DCEU stuff,
right?
Streaming is not the jumping off point that we thought it was.
No.
Especially because Miss Marvel was incredible.
Well, now they're putting ads on streaming. That's why.
And it's like Disney Plus, and it just wasn't the launching pad that we thought, you know?
They're not making
Throw
enough.
Kamala Khan in an Avengers movie, you know? Have her be like the second lead in, I don't know, something. But I don't know.
I mean, it's a couple of things. I mean, I think that where 2023 failed superhero movies and superhero content, I think, is they're going full factory, and it shouldn't be a factory sort of situation. And with their factory, they were like, how do we cut the costs of everything? How do we literally make everything just weaker? And I think that, like, Secret Invasion was written with AI. Like, that's my belief.
God, that was the most terrible show.
I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't make any sense how it was written by a human being, unless the human being was like, they were like, hey, you got 3 hours to write this, or you got 24 hours to write 4 different shows. Like, and this person is on their last legs of, like, thought. Or an AI was like, and in the end, one beats the other person up, the end. And then they're like, okay, now how do we storyboard that? Because that's what that final scene was.
The thing with Secret Invasion is, if you watch She-Hulk and you watch the finale, it's literally making fun of the finale of Secret Invasion before it came out.
Yeah.
They made an entire show trashing the formula for these dumb shows, and they went ahead and still kept using that formula for the show. It was just wild.
I think they were trying to point it out for real, but the problem is that, like, you when you make fun of somebody or when you point out stuff, sometimes it's easier to make it comedic, right? And then it's satire, you know. But they are pointing out the formula, and I mean, I guess is there superhero fatigue? I think yes and no. I don't believe that there's an actual structural superhero fatigue. I think that people are tired of the, like, cutting corners, factory process superhero stuff. But, like, I don't think that superheroes are done for good. I think something like Blue Beetle was a great, I really liked Blue Beetle, and Carson out there is saying Blue Beetle was the best DC movie from last year. And I mean, I
like Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I thought Blue Beetle was a fresh new take on superhero stuff. Although you could say that it harkens to Spider-Man in a way, in a young hero sort of way. The director explicitly said that he did not want to do Spider-Man. When he signed on to this, he did not want to do Spider-Man for Blue Beetle. And, like, focusing on the family and everything, it was fresh. I don't know if you guys believe superhero fatigue is real or not. I don't know.
For me, I think superheroes are just another genre now. It's just like a horror. It's like saying there's horror fatigue. It's like, no, there's a horror movie coming out every few months. It's just the way it is. This is a genre at this point.
You just got to make it fresh, right? A fresh new horror is still surviving with fresh new takes.
Yeah.
Rom-coms, how are rom-coms doing?
Right.
I don't know.
They do well on streaming services, actually.
Streaming
rom-coms do well on streaming services.
Yeah.
That's the superhero rom-com. Well,
I mean,
it was kind of WandaVision. Never mind.
I wouldn't consider WandaVision a superhero rom-com, but they're
it was depressing if that was the way it ended.
I think you could. I could pitch one. I'm trying to think of.
All right. Is it in the MCU?
Do you want it? Is that what you want, an MCU superhero rom-com?
Sure. For
but they wouldn't
the
release it in. I mean, I would love a Rogue and Gambit rom-com before they fall in love. You know what I mean? Like the beginning of their relationship.
That's not a terrible idea.
I know it's not.
Rogan Gambit.
A Rogan Gambit rom-com.
See, that's the thing that would get sent to Disney Plus, though.
I feel like Miss Marvel had a little rom-com energy with Kamala and her two boys.
Yeah, I would put that in coming of age.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Coming of age. Yeah.
I have my thoughts about the MCU and stuff. Anyway, there are other movies. Something coming up really quick is Argyle. Are you guys?
Yeah, I've seen that. Henry Cavill, he's a secret agent, or so we think.
He is Argyle, but do you guys know the premise?
Yeah, it's kind of like Stranger Than Fiction, where like somebody is like writing this, but it's also happening in real life. Yeah,
I don't know how it happens, but it looks fun, and it's Matthew Vaughn, who did Kingsman. You know, and it is classically Kingsman, like choreographed.
Yeah.
I think it's also number one, Dua Lipa. Oh, my heart.
I was about to say, goodness gracious, Dua Lipa.
Making my heart Dua Lipa.
But that's the first time I've heard that. All
right. Number two, though, I think it's very interesting that it's starring one of the great Star Wars directors of our time, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
She's directed some of the best episodes of Star Wars television. Weirdly,
for sure.
Best like Bryce did that. Yeah. No, like not that she isn't talented, but like I don't know. She is the daughter of Ron Howard, so I should have saw this coming.
Yeah,
I think she could be a better director than Ron Howard. Ron Howard is a great director.
This is a hot take.
Ron Howard is a great director, but he's bland. He's kind of like at this day and age. He needs more spice.
Bryce Dallas Howard has directed better Star Wars projects than her father.
Well, because Ron Howard did Solo, right? Is that what you
said?
Oh, okay. I don't blame him for Solo, but I also don't know why you would think Ron Howard would save Solo. But all right, you know what I mean?
I liked Solo. I really liked Solo. It gets better every time I watch it.
It's all right. I can take it.
What, Neebz?
I can take it or leave it.
Are you serious?
Andor to me,
I don't hate it, but it's all right.
Andor to me is peak Star Wars.
Yes, I love Andor.
All right, you want your Star Wars dark and gritty?
No, you don't have to be dark and gritty.
I want it like my world.
All right, so there. I mean, there's a bunch of I don't know. Is Kraven the Hunter still coming out this year?
Yes, Kraven the Hunter.
So we have two Sony Spider-Man movies:
Madam Web,
and Kraven the Hunter.
I am morbidly curious about
Morbius?
Madam Web.
Sorry,
Web.
What was that?
Get it? Get it? Morbidly.
Anyway,
sorry.
Curious.
I'm curious because I'm like, fuck it. You know what? These aren't going anywhere. The suit, the fake Spider-Man they got in there looks like it's something from the CW.
The assassin guy?
Yeah, what the fuck? You know, fuck it. But Bryce Dallas Howard, I love her to death. Like, all right.
Wait, Bryce Dallas Howard?
Not Bryce Dallas Howard.
No.
What's her name?
No.
Dakota Johnson. Dakota Johnson. Gosh. Yeah, Dakota Johnson, love her to death. Sure. Fuck it. Whatever.
What's the line they keep quoting?
My mom was in the Amazon doing research on spiders before she died.
No, it was specific. Yeah.
So specific. So weirdly. Like the suits look terrible. The CGI looks bad. They don't give a fuck. They just want to keep the IP.
It's keeping the IP. Also, I don't have much hope for it. Except, okay, so there's like a Final Destination almost kind of vibe to it. Yeah. But also, some people were saying it might be a Terminator vibe because...
I think that was the original story. The original story was a Terminator vibe, and they kept a little bit of that. I don't know how much.
Yeah. But the lizard brain in my head is looking at the actresses in that movie being like, oh, maybe I'll watch it.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
Isabel Merced?
Dora the Explorer?
I like Dora the Explorer, like the movie. I thought it was good.
I didn't see it.
It's a really good movie. It's very tongue in cheek. It's
Sure it is.
Supposedly we're getting Venom 3 this year.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I don't know what story they're gonna do because they did Carnage. I don't know.
Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it.
Oh, interesting.
As who?
Maybe as himself.
Me, the actor, is taking the symbiote. Okay. I'm sorry, symbiote.
Here's the thing about the Sonyverse. No one knows where it's going, and I don't know if anyone cares.
They don't know where it's going either.
Some kind of Sinister Six.
But that's so bad. I mean, do you guys have hope for Craven?
No.
Craven seems more straightforward.
Like, I understand the math behind it. You need to keep the IP, but Tom Holland doesn't want to be in everything. You can't go back to the other two Spider-Man because I don't know, you hate money, I guess. So let's make a Craven movie. Venom did great.
They could have given us a Miles Morales. No one's stopping them from that.
That is, I mean, Spider-Verse is pretty good.
I know Spider-Verse
it's pretty good.
Personally, I would keep going with Spider-Verse stuff, but then I would actually do a live action Web Warriors, which is like a Spider-Verse sort of situation. You could have literally Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire like buddy copping a multiversal Spider-Man team that does live action like movies.
More multiverse.
I'm not a fan of multiverse, but I think that Spider-Verse is the only thing that has done it right so far, and I would be cool with them investing in Maguire and Garfield before Morbius and shit, you know?
I think it's just they should just make the Sonyverse the Andrew Garfield universe.
Mm-hmm.
Just kill two birds with one stone.
So just bring back, just do an Amazing Spider-Man 3 and have, I mean, I don't mind
Make the Sinister Six. I mean, they haven't showed a hero, but they've shown 6 villains. You give them Andrew Garfield.
So, like, I don't know, like maybe Venom comes back from the MCU and he's like, man, that Tom Holland guy looks like that Andrew Garfield guy back in wait, Andrew Garfield is the one who got me fired from the Daily Bugle. You know him too? Let's go get Spider-Man.
Wait, and who got fired who from the Daily Bugle? Because Eddie Brock didn't get fired from the Daily Bugle.
But they say he had trouble in New York and he had to move to California.
Oh.
No, but also Venom has a hive mind which accidentally goes to the universe and other multiverses.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the hive mind bullshit. That's why I hate the multiverse. It's so dumb. So any Venom that ever existed, he's now a part of. I don't think the hive mind jumps to multiverse. Maybe it jumps to the hive that's in that universe. So when you jump, you know what I mean? Maybe.
So what's really interesting is I read the book called MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios. I don't know if you heard of it.
Yes, I've read it.
I don't like books.
It's really good because they talk about how hard No Way Home was. Because Kevin Feige pitched this idea, or they were working on the idea, and they decided to leave one slot empty so they could do a Sinister Six later. That's why it's only 5 villains total, right?
I had a theory for anyone who likes Ultimate Spider-Man. When Ultimate Spider-Man did the Sinister Six, they had 5 villains also. And guess who the 6th person on the Sinister Six was?
J. Jonah Jameson?
Spider-Man.
What?
They take Spider-Man, they blackmail Spider-Man and they say we'll kill your family if you don't help us with this thing that they're gonna do. So that's the Ultimate Sinister Six. First starts off with 5 villains and Spider-Man's the 6th one, and the Ultimates, which are the Avengers, come in to fight the 6 of them. And Spider-Man's being blackmailed. So I thought that there would be a Tom Holland has to help them situation, but that wasn't the case. I'm okay. I don't know. I'm okay with what happened. That's fine.
Are you excited for Madam Web, Dimithri?
Like I said, the lizard brain part of it is
he just wants to see Sydney Sweeney in the costume.
Sydney's, I mean,
fully covered.
Is it gonna look like body paint? It looks like body paint
Probably.
from
It
that
does
like,
look like body paint.
from that trailer.
Just watch Anyone But You. Just watch them.
That's not a good rom-com though, right? I like rom-coms.
If you love Sydney Sweeney, you'll love this movie.
I'm not a big. I mean, Sydney Sweeney's okay. I'm not a big fan of Sydney Sweeney. Not Alan Scott. Adam Scott in that movie is the most intriguing part of Madam Web because I'm like, I heard he's supposed to play Uncle Ben.
Oh, is he Uncle Ben or is he Peter Parker's dad?
I don't know. He could be Richard Parker or Ben.
Richard Parker.
So.
Yeah, because the original story was that they were trying to save Peter Parker's parents because if Peter Parker's parents die, he's never born. Hence the Terminator storyline. But they scrapped that for something else.
Well, I heard he's Ben Parker because Richard Parker would be younger.
No, he would be a tiger. I'm sorry. That was sorry. That was.
I got it.
Yeah.
Richard Parker.
You know, Richard Parker, the name of the tiger is based off of a guy who survived 2 capsized boats.
Yeah. I think they mentioned that in the movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Anyway, we're supposed to have 3 Sony movies in 1 year.
Perfect.
Other movies we're supposed to get some like random stuff, right? Like Gladiator 2.
If there was ever a movie that didn't need a sequel,
Gladiator. We're supposed to get Alien Romulus. We're supposed to get a Borderlands movie. We're supposed to get a sequel to Twister called Twisters.
Beetlejuice is getting a sequel.
Beetlejuice is getting a sequel. What else? Oh, I know what I'm very excited for. One of my top movies this year. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, that's a really good trilogy.
It's such a good trilogy. One of the best trilogies of all time, I think.
I need to rewatch that trilogy because I think I watched them out of order and I don't know where I left off.
It's kind of funny because the second 2, like the first is definitely like a prequel to like a duo of movies. You know what I mean? Because the whole Contagion takes place in between the first movie and the second movie. So it's like they're kind of different, but I love them. They're amazing.
Really good.
I mean, truth be told, this movie, I know it's the 4th movie, but it might just be the 3rd in that trilogy. You know what I mean? You have a prequel movie and then you have a 3, maybe?
But Caesar dies. Spoiler.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know.
And it takes place like a couple hundred years after the first trilogy. But here's what I think they should do. If this movie ends with like they save the day or whatever, and the apes do whatever, the last shot or the end credits teaser needs to be a rocket coming down.
Yeah,
and it's Mark Wahlberg.
God,
no, he's at the Lincoln Memorial, which is now a monkey.
I understand that, like, generally speaking, we don't like that movie, but I also want to know what happens after. I make a comic or something that tells me what happens to his character in like this alternate universe, because that's the one thread I'm like, I wish I knew.
Mark Wahlberg.
The Mark Wahlberg. I also don't like Mark Wahlberg.
Who should play the human role? The like human from the past.
Oh, the wait, who was the original? It's what's his name? Famous actor, right? It was
Ben-Hur? No.
Yeah. It's the guy who plays
Ben-Hur, right?
Yeah, what's his name?
That one guy.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Carlson something.
It's the damn you all to hell, that guy.
Damn you all to hell.
You damn.
Wasn't he president of the NRA? It's that guy.
He was?
Charlton Heston or something.
Yeah, isn't Charlton Heston?
Yeah.
When
did it come out? Wow, this is good podcasting, guys. I was looking up shit.
I believe that's who it was. I'd be happy with anybody except for Mark Wahlberg. See him committing hate crimes on apes.
Oh no! Isn't it Charlton Heston? Isn't Planet of the Apes Charlton Heston?
That's
Good
what I think.
question. Who knows?
Just ask Siri.
I'm trying to.
Alexa, who was the star in Planet of the Apes in the 80s?
It is Charlton Heston. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's
Good
funny is
podcasting, guys.
I looked up Planet of the Apes, and guess who the first 10 actors that pop up are? The people
Mark Wahlberg.
The people in the ape costumes. So like Charlton Heston wasn't popping up. I was like, where is he in this thing? Why is it so hard to find his name? Yes, Charlton Heston, Ben-Hur, president of the NRA.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Give it to an up and coming actor. I don't know.
I would up and coming. I wouldn't mind Tom Hiddleston. I feel like Tom Hiddleston could do a role like that.
Does the character need to be older or younger?
I don't think age really matters. Old enough to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
In the future. Old enough to be an astronaut in the future.
Beekeeping.
No,
age.
he's
beekeeping age.
Beekeeping age.
By the way, there is Jason Statham's The Beekeeper coming out in like a week.
That's true.
I don't.
Sure.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh wait, what's the guy in Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Jason
Russell
Segel?
Brand?
You know what? Fuck it. Put Jason Segel.
Jason Segel.
You know what? Do it.
Have
What
you
could
guys
possibly
seen
go
the
wrong?
show Shrinking on Apple TV with Jason Segel? It's so good.
I haven't seen it, but that's
only
the
one
Harrison
season.
Ford Jason Segel one, right?
Yes. Yep. Harrison Ford's in it.
But
I've never seen Harrison Ford do comedy, and he's actually like really funny.
That's cool. Better than him doing another Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Just pass the torch, man. Not the Indiana Jones torch, but I'd rather see Short Round and Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character and like them team up, you know?
Yeah.
As we close this up, I'm trying to see if speaking of Phoebe Waller-Bridge, she's not in it anymore. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the Donald Glover Maya Erskine TV show based off the movie, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I have not seen Donald Glover do anything I have not liked. So
okay. I wasn't sure where you're
bet.
going with that.
It's a good bet for me to watch that and enjoy it.
Yeah. We got Abbott Elementary season 3 coming out this year, coming back from their, hiatus.
Oh, you're looking at the same article I am. Cool.
Well, I was looking and I brought it over into the doc. Have you
Let me guess. Is Halo season 2 on your next?
I'm not going in order, but yeah, I didn't watch Halo season 1, so I don't really care much about Halo season 2.
Mm-mm.
There's I don't know. What else am I looking forward to? Star Trek stuff. I like Star Trek and like Star Wars. So
I just found out one of my friends, like good friends who like I have not been in touch with, just like reached out to me the other day and told me that she is a producer on House of the Dragon. So I was like,
your friend is?
Yeah. I was like, so basically, like I told you, I'm doing like a reality show, right? And she's basically like, hey, I met somebody at this pre-Emmy party, and she told me that you're on a reality show. I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what were you doing at a pre-Emmy party? She was like, my show's been nominated. I was like, oh, what show? She's like, House of the Dragon. I was like, what?
A small independent, TV show that she does now,
Yeah, I was completely shocked, and I was like, oh man, that's insane. But yeah, so House of the Dragon, I'm looking forward to that.
One of my teachers from college, he worked on Game of Thrones. He invented the Dothraki language.
Whoa, that is cool.
So because he was a linguistics guy, he invented the Game of Thrones language. He invented the Dune language. And so I was hosting trivia, and so he comes to my trivia and he plays, and we had a Jason Momoa question, and with a little picture of young Jason Momoa. And then afterwards, he was like, oh, look, he had taken the photo of Jason Momoa and texted Jason Momoa on his like cell phone being like, oh, there's just a question about you. And Jason Momoa thumbed it up. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
That is exciting.
If we're talking about Game of Thrones, is what I'm saying.
That's kind of
Okay.
a flex to get like you can text Jason Momoa and get a thumbs up. That is a flex in my book.
Yeah.
So were you
Everybody I text nowadays, they leave me on red. So,
like the mean girls that are brown that people don't.
Yeah, they're like, you're not hot. There's also another Game of Thrones thing that's coming out, right? I wrote it down. It's called
The Hedge Knight?
The Hedge Knight. Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight. I got nothing for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's I think it's adapting Duncan Egg, which is like,
are you a big Game of Thrones? Are you a Thrones head?
Yeah. I'm not. Someone might want to correct me on that, but there's like Duncan the Tall, which is a knight, who has a squire who is also a Targaryen. I'm pretty sure, but you might want to double check.
Are you a throner boner?
I wish I was that cool.
Are you throwing?
I read the first book, but I deep dived when the show was going on.
Okay. We got some Star Wars stuff. We got Star Wars The Acolyte, which I'm looking forward to. Amanda Stenberg.
Actually excited about that.
It's gonna get so much hate when it comes out. It's gonna get so much hate from those specific people.
Everything's getting hate. Did you see the interview with Sharmeen Oboy-Chinoy that is being refitted to make?
Oh yeah.
Like she is? So basically, let me give people a little bit of background. So 8 years ago, she did an interview at a women's conference talking about a documentary she did on acid attacks in Pakistan and in like honor killings. So because of that, she got a lot of hate from people in her country because they thought it was tarnishing the reputation of Pakistan. So she said a lot of men were uncomfortable, and she's like, I like making men uncomfortable. She is specifically talking about the men that are sending her death threats and stuff like that because of this movie she made. So people repurpose that clip to try to make it sound like she is talking about the next Star Wars movie that
because she is tapped to do the Rey movie, right?
Yes, the Rey movie. And they're like, yeah, look at her. She is going to make this movie so men are uncomfortable, which the two things are in no way correlation. This was way before she was even tapped to be in Miss Marvel, let alone Star Wars. So because of that, they're trying to give her the Brie Larson treatment. They're using these interviews and stuff to try to make her look like a man-hating director, and they're going to pre-order their hate for this movie.
Pre-order their hate.
Pre-order their hate. It's good.
Not wrong.
So like here's the thing. With the context, they're completely out of line. But even without the context, I think they're out of line too. I think that like showing privilege and making people uncomfortable with their own privilege, that like, even I have, right? Like there's certain types of privileges I have. Like I have one like as a man, or in every different facet of society, like I can or can't have privilege, whatever. But making people uncomfortable, putting a mirror up to people, that's art, right?
Yeah.
So even like with the context, obviously it's easy to like with the context, people are blowing out of proportion and they're retrofitting it and whatnot. But also without the context, even if she said I like making men feel uncomfortable, I was okay with that. Like if the question was like, how do you feel with doing a movie about Rey and like Rey, like when so many people were uncomfortable with Rey and blah blah blah, it's like I like making men feel uncomfortable, I would have bought that answer too. But it's wild the hate that she's getting.
Yeah.
I think Rey needs a Padawan. That's what I think. I can't wait. I hope the Rey movie she gets a Padawan.
I feel so bad for Finn. So bad for Finn.
Stop. Don't let me get on my high horse. Don't you dare. Don't do it.
Okay, that's fine. The Acolyte, though, has a full diverse cast. It takes place in the past. Stars Amanda Stenberg, who is a very vocal activist. People are gonna pre-order their hate.
Yeah.
I hope she does the same. Remember when, I don't know if you remember this like TikTok drama where someone reviewed the movie who was also on TikTok, like reviewed Bodies, Bodies, Bodies,
Oh,
the
okay.
Amanda Stenberg movie.
Yeah.
And like the person called it like a 2 hour advertisement for cleavage.
Yeah.
And then Amanda Stenberg, like in the DMs, didn't post this anywhere. Was like, maybe if you weren't looking at my boobs, you could have looked at the movie, right? So I hope Amanda has great clapbacks like this when the Acolyte comes back out. You know, I'm excited to see it. I'm sat.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, is there anything that you guys are looking forward to in the last couple minutes that we have here that we didn't get to touch on? There's The Boys season 4. Moana gets a series. Supposedly Marvel Zombies is coming out. Kite Man gets a series. Daredevil Born Again is coming out. There might be a Dune series on HBO. You know,
is the Agatha show still coming out this year?
Supposed to.
I think so.
It's supposed to. Yeah.
You know what's funny though? Like, remember when WandaVision came out? And we're like, an Agatha show. This is genius.
I
this
did
is
not
amazing.
say that. I did not say that.
I think it's a great idea. And then we're 2 years or 3 years now from we're like, ooh, maybe we should.
I'm not looking forward to it. Like, I mean, I think it'll be good depending on how they expand the magical corner. That's really what I want. I don't need an Agatha focused show, but like Agatha headlining this magical corner of the Marvel universe that we've never seen before. It'd be nice. What I would hate is if it focuses again on the multiverse. I don't want the multiverse.
I feel like Catherine Hahn, Audrey Plaza can carry a show. So like that gives me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah.
I'm mad Aubrey Plaza's in this. Because I could think of like 3 other roles she'd be better at.
I thought about that recently, about how Stanley Tucci was wasted on Abraham Erskine, who just that small bit in Captain America. When I was thinking he would make a great Mr. Sinister.
Ooh. Interesting.
I mean, don't steal it. I'm gonna make it. I have to make a TikTok on it. I think it's a crazy choice. Think about his character in Hunger Games. Think about his other more menacing characters. He can play all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he'd still be lovable too, in a weird way.
I don't know. Mr. Sinister was a collaborator. I'm still mad he was on the Crowing Council.
Yeah.
Like, look at that guy.
I'm just, you know.
I mean, I thought Mr. Sinister was going to be the secret villain to Deadpool 3. That's what I was holding out for.
Ooh.
I mean,
because in Deadpool 2, that's the school that they were at.
Who's the villain in Deadpool 3? Taylor Swift?
We don't know. We don't know who this villain is.
Taylor Swift.
Well, yeah. I mean, they hinted at Mr. Sinister at the end of New Mutants also. So,
wasted potential.
Yeah. We got 5 minutes to wrap things up, but like, you guys, is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about?
I'm excited to see Neebz' mysterious show coming out in the fall. Should be fun.
Oh, the dating show that Neebz is on?
My dating show. Yes, definitely. We'll be on.
And his short film. Excited to see that.
Who knows where it might lead?
Who knows? Also, I'm excited to see Dimithri on television too.
That's right.
The fucking game show.
Hopefully, he wins $1 million and throw the huge house.
The show doesn't give $1 million, but yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to just in general, like San Diego Comic-Con, we're all going to be at, but like some of the other cons that I'm going to this year, like but like San Diego Comic-Con is, we'll all be there, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Before we get going, I want to thank you guys so much, Justin, Neebz, so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your night to be here, especially because you guys are on the East Coast. I'm Pacific time. You guys are Eastern time, so you guys are 3 hours in the future. So, thank you to both of you spacemen for traveling through time to be here with me. Shout out to Carson out there for being in our chat and being an awesome person in our chat, letting us know. If you were watching us live, you were watching us on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show, like Carson was, or youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or you listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Now, before we get going, Justin, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug?
You can find me wherever toys are sold, at Freddy's Roommate on Twitter, TikTok, and on Instagram. And now on Letterboxd. I just got Letterboxd.
Very nice. Very nice. Letterboxd is going to be doing TV shows, so, you know, put your TV shows on there. Neebz, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at the hashtag or handle at Watch with Neebz. Neebz is spelled Neebz. And also, I have a podcast called Salam Nerds, which can be found on all Spotify platforms and on YouTube. So feel free to join us. We recap everything Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and every Sunday we have a weekly where we go over current events. So feel free to watch us there. And Freddie, Roommate, and Dimithri, Justin, love to have you guys back on. I think I've tried to get Dimithri on like 7.
It's so hard with scheduling, but I am in it. I want to. So let's make it work out.
Yeah. And then Justin's been on a few times, so we'll definitely have to have you back on too.
Thank you guys both. Both of you guys do amazing work. So if anyone's out there who haven't followed you, definitely should follow you guys. If you guys want to follow the Keeg, you can follow the Keeg on social media at the Keeg Show, pretty much everywhere. TikTok and Instagram are two biggest ones, but we're on all the other ones at the Keeg Show or / the Keeg Show. We got multiple different shows that we do. We got This is the Keeg Talks. We got tomorrow, we're going to do the Keeg Talks What If Season 2. But generally speaking, the Keeg Talks is every weekend, and Comic Talk is every Thursday night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We also got our Patreon, patreon.com / the Keeg Show. And then we got a new X-Men podcast. It's a monthly one called State of X that's going to be every month. So definitely stay tuned for that. That's pretty much it. Oh, thekeegshow.com if you're into blogs and articles and that sort of thing. We just started that back up again at thekeegshow.com. But other than that, I am looking forward to this whole year. I have a lot of hopes and dreams and plans, and you know, it's gonna be tough work, but I'm looking forward to 2024. So I'm glad that I could kick it off with you guys.
Very cool.
Once again, thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been the Keeg Talks coming in 2024. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Super